Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about how do we perform a select operation on a table using Oracle Integration Cloud. So let's see the agenda. So the prerequisite is I'm using the Oracle ATP database cloud service and which has a table called EMP. So this is the main thing which we require in our integration. And now, so once you got the ATP details, right? Let us say you got the Oracle ATP database details and you need to configure that ATP database information in the Oracle Integration Cloud. But what are the details you require? Here, if you observe, you require a service name and make sure the service security type is JDBC over SSL. You require a wallet. And here, if you observe, I have uploaded a wallet file, wallet zip file, and the wallet password and the respective username as well as password. So these are the main things which you require when you want to configure the ATP database connection. But how do you get it? So here, if you observe, I just logged into my Oracle Cloud account, and you can observe here. Let me show you that. So once you navigate to Oracle AI database and respect to the AI database component, you can see here database connection. In the database connection, you have an option to download the wallet. When you download the wallet, it will mention what is the password you want to configure for your wallet, mention the appropriate one, and then you can observe the TNS names and the connection strings here. So all the details from, you can get all the connection details from here itself and configure them respectively in the ATP connection. So once it is 100% perfect, the next thing what you can do is you can just create an integration. And then here, this is a final integration which we're expecting to design now. Okay. So you can observe here, I just designed integration and, we're not applying any filter criteria. You can observe the invoke activity, get employee details, and then we are iterating the response which we receive from database and just printing in the logger. We are not performing any operation, only the select operation we are doing it. We don't want to perform any DML operation or no filtering criteria as of now, right? And you can observe here, once we execute this, right, this is how, this is how you may expect the result. And you can see this for loop was executed 14 times, right? So now we'll just go back to the integration instance. I'll just, let us see the connection first, which is very important. ATP connection, let us click on this one. Yeah. So JDBC or SSL, wallet, the file, username, password, and the main important property, observe here, the service name and the database username and password, right? So assuming that ATP connection is available and you can observe the connection name here. Now let us start creating the integration now. So I'll just go to integration and then click on create. I'll go with application as of now. I'll make it as with the name suffix as test. And the first basic thing you require is a REST connection, right? So as we want to use this one, so you just try to use any of the existing REST connection. Or maybe I'll just get it from my existing sample. Yeah, let me show you that. So here you can see here, this is using a connection, REST connection OIC. So we'll use that REST connection OIC. So I'll just click on edit, REST connection. So this is your connection name, and I'll just say get employee details. I'll just go with the same thing, get employee details. We don't want to configure any input or output parameter as of now. I'll just go with the default. And let's say EMP details. And click on continue and nothing to change. Continue and finish. And it should create a connection. Yeah, so now we can see this here. And of course, we don't want to map anything. And then this is a trigger connection, right? Now let us say let us create the element now based on the ATP connection. Okay, so I'll just say ATP. You can just search the name ATP connection OT. And here, what we want to get employee data, right? So let's say get EMP details from ATP. I'll just mention the same thing. And here database supports these set of operations. And we would like to go with a run a SQL statement. And then click on continue. Now mention the query. It is always good practice to mention the column names also. EMP number, salary, job, TPT&O from EMP. So make sure that you mention the, yeah, it's fine. Validate the query. This is very important. Until unless you validate the query, it will not allow you to perform continue. It is success. Now click on continue and finish. So we are able to create the element based on the database connection, right? We can observe the connection name. And now the next thing is we want to create the loop based on the response which we receive from our ATP connection, right? Click on this one. And here you can see the loop activity. I'll just go with the loop activity. And yeah. And now this is a request, right? So the one without any underscore or anything, right? Then just name, that is your response. I'll just drag and drop. And you can observe the name, right? The output. You just drag and drop the repeating element place. Okay. And also it's like, a record name, and this is an extraction name. So it's like, this is your cursor name, this is your record name. This is the above is a cursor and this is a record name. FO underscore get employee details from ATP output. That is your element name, which we have to consider in our for loop, right? So now we'll just go with auto-generate element names. We don't want to make it complicated. So now the for loop is partially configured, right? Now here, I'll click on this plus symbol, click on action. I just want to print a log. I don't want to do any other logic. Just select logger. And now how do we retrieve the value from the for loop? You can observe the FO element, the output element, and expand this one. It shows the record set of your employee, and you can see the AMP number or ename, whichever one which you want to display. You can just try to drag and drop, and you can display that. Just click on save. And now, yeah, it's almost done, but still, it shows the primary identifier issue. Just click on this error, set that primary business identifier. Just as of now, drag and drop any element which is available. I'll just go with this one. In business scenario, this element or this property does not make any sense, right? Because, so for now, as we don't have any input parameter, so I'm just considering that. So it is almost configured. And you can see the status here, configured. Click on back. Now let's try to activate this one. Yeah, go with the default. Takes a couple of seconds. You can try refresh. Perfect. It is active now. Click on this icon, click on run. And now click on here, run again. And the response is 200, okay, but let us see the for loops iterations, right? Based on that, we can clearly tell whether we got the data or not. Yeah, for loop got iterated 14 times, and you can see the logging information somewhere here. Inside that, you can see the message, and you can just click here, and you should be able to see the employee number, which we tried to print in the log, right? So this is all about a simple select operation using OIC, but in the next scenarios, in the next session, we'll try to work on parameter-based SQL query or DML operation or a package logic, right? Thank you.